I'm going to show you people whose pride got the best of them, and now they suffer from it, whether they like it or not. Our first culprit is actually a whole community, the fat acceptance movement. There are people glorifying obesity and their own importance. Like, some of these people compare themselves to a fat prophet who are saving lives. However, they're not saving lives, they're killing them and themselves. These people that you see on the screen right now have all died because of their own gluttony. However, gluttony is a topic for another day. But their pride got to the best of them because they could not admit that they were wrong. Admit that they are wrong about fat being healthy because it killed them. They could not seek the help they wanted because of their own pride. Their ignorance. Their pride didn't let them understand that they had a problem and they needed help, but their gluttony killed them. So they'll be making another appearance in my gluttony video. The reason I didn't go deeper with this is not really that complicated to see. They wear their pride and ignorance on their fucking sleeve. But I have a greater example to show of what pride can do to you, such as this guy people have been talking about. But here's where I know him from, and I bet you many of you as well. It was this live event with audience in the stands, and there was a bunch of people on stage, and there was this big buff guy in a white shirt, and he was screaming all loud and proud. And that's the guy I'm talking about today. So supposedly, all these men on the stage were asked what their idea of success was. And this dude, dressed up as a telecom pastor, should cry out to you what this guy's about. His idea of success was looks, money, cars, big house, all this materialistic garbage you've been hearing about for so fucking long. But I digress. That's what he was asked to do. He was asked to say what his opinion of success was. However, what everyone had a problem with is that when another man was asked what his opinion was, he started freaking the fuck out. This other dude's opinion on success was faith, family, and friends. And then this steroid-infested man started berating him with insults. The one line I remember specifically that he said was, "A man should not have 10-inch arms and tits." Basically saying that he has no muscle and only fat. And then when Family Guy clapped back saying that he was bald, he started threatening him with violence. Several times. That's because his pride was hurt. He can't admit being wrong, even though the other guy was not trying to start a fight. As big as this man is, and no matter how much steroids he has in his veins, it does not match to a Florida man with a traditional family, because he has several guns, and you probably will use them. So this man that looks like an angel in the TV show Lucifer allowed his pride to make him look like a fool in front of possibly millions of people, because he violently disagreed with someone who had a better point. You see, when pride takes over your life, you will turn into this man, only filled with wrath and a pointless collection of fancy cars, which, not to mention, they lose value every year. They're not really a great investment, to compensate for a hollow existence. Now for the ultimate culmination of what pride will do to you. What it does to a person, Justin Trudeau. I really don't want to go into a political angle at this. I just want to attack him as a person. I don't know if that sounded any better. But his actions to never back down nor apologize has created problems for an entire country. And that's an issue no matter what ideology that you have. He doubled down on a tax on gasoline when the country's already in an affordability crisis. You see, to give you more context, Canada is run on gasoline. We're not like Europe where we can take a train everywhere or have our food delivered by train. It's not like that. We don't do that because we're not smart. See, we built this entire country on the backing of semi-diesel trucks. You see, that's not really an issue in most cases, but our food is delivered through gasoline. And on top of that, we have an affordability crisis. You see where the fucking problem is. And he doubled down on that tax, adding more onto it, even when his own fucking government, some other liberal members, some premiers saying, don't fucking do it, we're fucking freaking the fuck out. You see, the most sensible thing for him to do would be at least delay it. But no, he argued for the greater good, he's doing the world a favor. Even though that we're Canada and we don't have that much industry to go about anyway. You know, since we're on the topic of truckers, I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room. The famous Canadian trucker protest. See, he also doubled down with those truckers. Because he didn't even consider going halfway with these people, which is just common courtesy even on a fucking date. First, he called truckers a lot of names, and yes, there were some questionable people out there, such as a couple of alt-right groups, but what do you expect as a liberal leader? You're gonna have fucking right-wing protesters of all fucking spectrum. It does not make them all Nazis. There was also just Canadians there just wanting to live a better life. And you called them Nazis. They were not even conservatives. They were just fucking mad at you. Just ordinary Canadians. And there's no better way to alienate your entire country by calling them a bunch of fucking Nazis. Coming from that guy who invited a Nazi into parliament. However, because of his pride of being right, he didn't apologize or come to any middle ground. He just simply asked the protesters to stop. And when they didn't, he used emergency powers. Like fucking Palpatine.
That the Senate give immediately emergency powers to the Supreme Chancellor.
It is with great reluctance that I have agreed to this calling. I love democracy.
By using the police, by using the fucking banks. He actually froze people's bank accounts. Like, what the fuck? And then, of course, arresting a couple of the organizers. You know, I kinda get it. Truck horns are pretty annoying. But you know what also is annoying? Not being fucking heard. It's really fucking frustrating not being heard, and these Canadians are not being heard. And you keep doubling down. And they use these 2 points to illustrate of Trudeau's pride of being right. It shouldn't matter to you if you disagree with the group entirely. But as a leader, it's your job to ease the pain of everybody. I get that's really impossible to do with such a large country. But many people in Canada believe our quality of life is shrinking year after year. And some are still quite upset about how COVID was handled. So making people more poor and angry is not going to help your situation. Sorry, I keep switching between second and third person. It might be confusing you. I'm talking to Trudeau here. But Justin Trudeau keeps doing it because he has the pride of being right. And that's how he handled COVID. The pride of having better environmental and COVID rules than the United States or all the other countries. It makes him feel tippity top of the world. Let me illustrate this. A lot of those rules and restrictions long after COVID was a threat was because of his pride wanting to be better than the United States. In fact, most of COVID, he was just shitting on the United States for being so poor and mismanaged with COVID. You know, I get that COVID was a threat and a problem, but it wouldn't be as much of a problem if the provinces actually kept up with the healthcare system. Because they have also been neglecting their hospitals for so fucking long. And it's no surprise when some emergency actually came, they were not fucking prepared. And this healthcare system has been a problem way before fucking COVID. Like, if you have a fucking problem, it feels like you're getting slapped in the fucking face by the doctor. You want fucking stitches, you get fucking scrutinized for it. You have a really bad zit on your face you can't get rid of, the doctors are gonna make fun of you for it. And say, hey, why is this happening? Because they don't fucking know. But that's not really the point I'm trying to make. Justin Trudeau always prided himself how he handled COVID and compared his statistics with other countries. A country as sparse as Canada, with a virus that really likes people being close together, would automatically make Canada have better statistics. These rules and regulations was an excuse for Justin Trudeau to give him a nice fucking pat on the back, and he still prides himself for this to this day. If you want to get in statistics, I will. Here are the COVID deaths of British Columbia when COVID was most active. And here are the overdose deaths in that same fucking time period. You're doing such a fucking great job. As much as COVID was a problem, Justin Trudeau should not give himself a pat on the back for this because it's not really that big of a deal. He has others suffering around the country that he fucking ignores. Trudeau thinks he's a hero. He acts and supports this with every live session of Parliament. And yes, it is a live stream. You can look it up. And you can see for yourself, this man is stemming with pride. And he is the reason why an entire party in Canada is now fucking broken. Also, it's really hard to afford food. I forgot if I mentioned that. Pride can lead people to ignore problems like your weight. Too fat, scared to admit that you're wrong, and then you fucking die. Cause you to have wrath and anger because you are wrong, and cause an entire country to fuck up. Pride is considered a sin, and now I see why. I always thought that pride was a good thing because of Dragon Ball Z. Because you should be proud of who you are. But that's not why pride is bad. It's what happens when it goes too far. That it goes so far that you ignore everything bad that's around it. You can be really, really strong, but only have years to live because of your shitty diet. Be careful what you're proud of, and keep yourself in check with your ego to not make the same mistakes. That's all I have for today's video. I'm so sorry for this long break. It won't happen again. This is part 3 out of 7. I think you know what kind of theme I'm going for. I hope you have a fantastic day. A subscription would really help me out today. A like and comment make this video reach out to more people who need it. And remember to love yourself so you can save yourself.